Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I want to talk about passive income. It's one of the biggest search terms on YouTube, and I felt it was time for me to give my insights and some strategies that will allow you to create real passive income, because yes, it does exist. It is real, even though there are some huge influencers out there saying that it doesn't, and that you've got to kind of hustle hard all your life and make a break. And I'm telling you that they have a very different agenda, those people. They either genuinely don't understand how to generate true passive income, and they don't know how to do it themselves. And by the way, some people are really good at business and they can bring money in through a business, but when you go and look at their business, it's usually very time resourceful and it requires a lot of physical things. And the second thing those people are trying to do is to get you to believe that you have to work hard so that they can sell you onto their program, which is hard.
Rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day.
Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there isn't an order in which you are going to make generating passive income easier, but I am saying it's very possible and easier than you think with a few little mindset shifts and the right order of doing things. So I want to cover a step-by-step guide to creating passive income here, and I want to cover the mindset, the approach, the order, where the focus should be, so you can create passive income as quickly as possible. Now, the first rule to understand is the difference between the two different income types, mobile and passive. Many people have this thing in their head where they say to me, I want to earn more passive income. And when I go and ask them what they mean, you know, what does that look like? They say something along the lines of, well, I just want to be able to earn money from anywhere in the world. And I say to them, well, that isn't passive income necessarily, that's just mobile income. Mobile income is where you can be flexible in your geographical location. And believe me when I say this, that is a huge part of financial freedom. It comes from being mobile. Think about the title, financial freedom. Financial is one half, but freedom is what we're all striving for. And that comes from being as flexible and as nimble as possible so that you're not tied down. The liberation of being mobile is absolutely life-changing if you're focused on doing something you enjoy and you can take it anywhere. But it's not necessarily passive. So understand that passivity is a measurement of time and mobility is a measurement of space. You can become a day trader, for instance, and I can go to the Maldives and trade from a private balcony in the middle of the Indian Ocean, but I still have to spend my time doing so. So it's mobile, but it's not necessarily passive. Swing trading is more passive and it requires less time, but I'm going to get onto more passivity stuff in a moment. But just because I'm able to travel and earn money whilst doing so, it doesn't mean the income's passive. It just means that it's mobile. A mobile mechanic can earn money anywhere in the world where there's a city or where people have cars, but the level of mobility is stunted to a degree because you can't work anywhere. You can't work in rural areas or a Maldivian island where they just don't have cars. You wouldn't have enough work. So there are levels of mobility too, right from the cubicle office, right through to being able to work anywhere in the universe, which no one's managed to accomplish yet, but maybe Elon will get there first. Other examples of mobile income would be an online course or membership site, a program that needs constant updates, an online consultation group that requires time but not a physical location, an app developer who could work from anywhere with a decent internet connection, or a trader. But most people confuse the two, and the truth is, true passive income is extremely rare. But not because of the fact that it's hard to create, it's just that people get confused about how to go about trying to create it and they go about it the wrong way. So here's the thing, passive income comes from assets that you have created or bought. That's it. Now, as I said, there are levels of passivity, of course. Things can take less time until eventually it takes you zero time. Now, having said that, there are extremely passive income streams that can be created that still take a bit of time, but the goal is to make them more and more passive. Now, because passive income is based on time, you must have a rule for how you define that passive income so you've got something that you're going after. For me, I consider true passive income an income to be generated from an asset that requires less of an hour of my time per year. And before I tell you what these are, quickly hit the like button so that you can help boost this YouTube algorithm. That'll be much appreciated. If you've ever gotten value from any of these videos and just had one light bulb moment, give the video a quick like to let me know that you have. All right, thank you. So this would be things like book royalties, which is an asset I create, a stock dividend, which is an asset I've bought. An affiliate link in a YouTube video could be a passive income from an asset that you've created or a partnership you've created. An online PDF product, which is passive income from an asset you've created. Income from a business that you've built systems and automations and delegations for which require none of your time could be passive income. A rental property could be passive income as long as you're having it managed, but that's something you've bought. You could learn to invest, which will immediately yield a passive or semi-passive income for you. You could learn to trade and develop passive or semi-passive incomes, depending if you're a day trader or a longer term trader. All passive income is generated from an asset you've either bought or created. And the examples I just mentioned are considered to be passive to me because they require very little time investment per year, and once they're set up and they're done, the income just keeps following the asset, it keeps flowing. Now, even swing trading the higher time frames and things like that are only considered semi-passive still because they still require an hour, more than an hour of my time. Right, my swing trading takes me 15 minutes per day, so over the year that's longer than an hour, therefore it's not what I define as true passive income. So now we've covered the differences there, what people then usually realize is that they want to be more mobile, which gives them the feeling of freedom, and actually they can then think about being less active. But think about that, it's actually quite rare for people to want to just give up and sit there doing nothing. Like literally staring into space. Most people I know would not want to spend every minute with their family, if they're being honest, and they certainly wouldn't, they'd get sick of sipping cocktails on a beach weeks after weeks after weeks, and believe me, we've done that. The truth is, we want to feel meaning and fulfillment, and we want to feel like we're up to something in the world. So we want to be active. Many of us would go insane if all of our income was purely passive. Although it is a great way to build income streams. I always imagine my life and the time I have like a game of Tetris. The first drop block's in and it's a bit clunky and inefficient, then my job is to make it compact, space efficient and time efficient, pack it away in the corner so I have the most space and the most time left until the next thing drops in, or the next project, or the next investment. So I can do the same thing again and again and again. And by building income streams and then making them passive, in case one day I decide that I need to stop or I want to stop, it's a great way of ensuring that I don't have that feeling of feeling like I have to work, even though I probably will always be doing something. I'm human. Now, here's the magic. If you first focus on making your job or your business or your income stream mobile first, you can then make it passive much more easily. If you were a mechanic, it would be very difficult for you to not show up and still bring in the cash, right? You still have to sell your time for money. But consider this journey. Let's just say that you were to set up an online mobile mechanic booking database system so that you didn't have to physically do that part of your work. That would be less active, more mobile, and even a semi-passive part of the business. You could then think about assets to buy or create just like that booking system. You could invest your income into stocks. You could create or buy assets to make your income more and more passive. You could create systems in your business that allow you to free up time. You could outsource functional tasks to virtual assistants or other technicians who can be paid for that lower value task. You could build an online course on the how-tos of your business or even how to be a mobile mechanic. That would be an asset that is now created that can yield some more passivity. You could learn Facebook advertising and manage campaigns for other mechanic businesses. You could manage social media accounts for small mechanical businesses. My aim has always been to develop income from less active and more passive roles. We're seeing more and more businesses online now because it reduces time and it reduces space. In essence, businesses are all trying to become more mobile and more passive by providing services that are more mobile and more passive. But they do it in that order. My personal aim has always been to develop income from less active and more passive roles. And we're seeing more and more businesses online now because it reduces space and it reduces time. In essence, businesses are all trying to become more mobile and more passive by providing services that are more mobile and more passive. Amazon, if you look at Amazon, they are obsessed with this. They want to sell everything so people don't have to travel anywhere. And once they've mastered the problem of the client's mobility, they then obsess over time and passivity. How quick can we get it to someone? How can we take the least amount of time possible for our clients? That's why they have the one click and the drones and the more and more local distribution centers that are popping up everywhere closer to clients to reduce time. They're narrowing the gap in mobility and passivity. Think about Blockbuster and Netflix. They both sell access to films. The product is the same. However, Blockbuster, you would have to get in the car, travel somewhere, use fuel, pay for parking, walk from the car on the local town into Blockbuster, and then you'd have to walk around the shop, pick a film, go to the till, pay for the thing, and then you'd have to go back to the car, drive all the way back home, and then do it all again the next day just to avoid a fine. Netflix didn't sell a different product, they just solved the problem of reducing space and time, which Blockbuster were too proud to adapt to, and as a result, people valued their time and space more than paying Blockbuster and gave their market share to Netflix. Naturally, innovation and evolution tries to reduce space and time. Everything will be more convenient, faster, cheaper, readily available without having to search or travel at all. Now understand that the first thing we want to be is mobile. And then once we're mobile, the focus should be to create more passivity through delegation, automations, systems, teams, software. If you sacrifice short-term profit so that you can set systems up that generate income, that replace your functional role in everything that you do, you can just focus on what it is that you love to do. And you'll feel abundant, you'll feel free as a bird whilst being fulfilled and rewarded. If you sacrifice those short-term profits to do that, I promise you'll have more money than you'll know what to do with in the long term. On that note, the next rule is to focus on one thing for a while before distracting yourself and trying to generate multiple streams of income. If you try to catch 2 rabbits, you'll catch none. So skill up, double down on something, get good at it, leverage your way out of it using delegation, systems, automation, software, and then invest your income until you're free from an asset that continues to grow and provide income without you being there. Then you become freer, then you see more opportunities. Don't be tempted to jump in and take those opportunities until you get to that point. Otherwise, you jeopardize the entire thing and you end up being in a position where nothing you created is working and you can resent the entire thing. You resent everything. So passivity follows assets. If you're in a business right now, or you're starting a business or thinking about creating your business, consider creating content that can instantly be accessible to someone as soon as they've paid. That will keep it passive, and then to keep it really remarkable, you can add a component to the business that keeps getting updated and improved so that it keeps engagement and it maintains that stickiness with your clients. If you keep it this way, you can still enjoy the business, have great clients, still be very passive, and still be free. Peloton are a great example of this. They have the access that you pay for. As soon as you sign up, you get access to the previously created content and classes. Then you get the updated content and the live classes when they host them. But when you sign up, 90% of the content on Peloton is already done. It's already created. It's an asset that is there bringing in income. And then finally, if you're in business, make sure you invest your income in a way that eventually replaces your active roles. For free training on this and how to do it step by step, make sure you register for my free 7-day video series where you can see how the entire system all fits together. But the last rule on passive income is always create and take action. Watching these videos and listening to podcasts or reading 50 books a year will move you no closer to your dream life unless you do something. Someone once said that knowledge is power, but they lied. It's only power if you apply what you learned and you start putting the wheels in motion. If you're stuck on where to start with this, take my wealth profile test. You can see the link in the description there. It will give you a 55-page personalized report plus a free personalized video based on your profile, and the report will give you some clear roadmap steps to follow based on where your focus should be based on your situation. So just to finish off, passive income is possible. It follows assets that you create or buy. That comes with a discipline for you to go and create those assets, because it's going to require some longer term gratification or delayed gratification. But as long as you follow the steps in this video, you're not going to go far wrong. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Let me know how you create passive income. And until next time, guys, take care. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you then.